You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit, HD2.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its third year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. See if you qualify. Please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
And it don't like us too much. But we want you to participate today. There's a lot on our plate. And if you're going to participate, remember, turn your TV down as well as speakers and what have you, where we have an opportunity to hear you and the community can hear you. Your call-in numbers, you have it, they're listed down below, as well as I'm going to tell you 313-868-0342, 0351-433 6, I see it. Website, okay, those of you that have your computers on is what is that? WE. I am looking wrong. Yeah, www.tv33 WHPR.com.
There you go.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm gonna take Maureen thing.
Well, you know what? Why don't we say a couple of moments, because we got some people that's calling in today. I was telling Marion, I noticed that, well, I didn't mention this part. I noticed these lines right here are starting to deepen in my face. And Aerosmith has this song, every time I look in the mirror, lines on my face every day keep getting clearer. So, you know, there's some age things going on my face. And I looked at my arms. I'm trying to put my lotion on and look like I got extra skin. What the heck is that doing there, right? So,
some of that chicken.
You know, oh, yeah, you know, I love that fried chicken. So Marion responded by talking about how we used to go out and jog and walk. We used to go to the gym. We used to go to the gym and jog around the gym for 30 minutes, however long. We used to do all of that. And we've gotten out of all of those habits now for a long time. We're not eating always the food that we need to eat. But I want to say this, Marion. I got about 10 COVID pounds that I found. Tim, did you hear that? About 10 COVID pounds. And Tim said he got the same 10. And people are talking about over these 2 years, when we were at home and working from home and all that. And I think I said this to you before, Marion. That Emeril Lagasse, up until COVID, I really liked him. That's Emeril Lagasse, the chef. And that Emeril Lagasse turned into a terrorist. And he did a week of muffins. Remember I told you about that week of muffins? And tell you how to make the muffin mix and put it in the muffin tray, half fill it up. By then, you've got your pulled pork or your pulled chicken or your pulled beef, and I had pulled chicken. And had baked that chicken and boiled it, fricasseed it, whatever it is I did to that chicken, and had the barbecue sauce ready. So you pour the muffin mix halfway in the container. Then you put the meat and the barbecue sauce there. Then you pour the rest of the muffin mix on top, okay? And then you drizzle the top of the muffin with barbecue sauce. Put it in the oven, however long it took. And when you come out, you just opened it up, drizzle a little bit more. Oh my God, I'm hooked. I'm gonna do this muffin thing. And here come my kid. Navarre come in the house, come in there and look at me. I got the apron on, with
What
the
you
little
doing with
pockets.
the apron
I
way
had
up there?
everything. The top of the apron come up here. And with the pockets, and Navarre came in and looked at me and he said, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm doing muffins." He said, "You're my mother. You ain't never done muffins in your
I was about to
entire
say
life.
that.
I'm going out and I'm going to come back in an hour and find out who you really are." Well, I had that 8 compartment 10 of muffins. And I ate the first 2, and oh God, they were so good. And then I ate the next 3. All right, so that's 3, 4, 5, and then probably the morning of the next day, I ate those last 3. And Marion, 2 of those COVID pounds went right here. 3 of them went right here, and I ain't sure where the other 3 went. But man, I've been fighting these COVID pounds for a year and a half. Lord have mercy,
Look
Jesus.
here. We
Emerald.
Emerald need to be put off the air for a while.
Oh man,
I'm glad. See, I wasn't the person in the household that would look at him and get all those. That's
Before Emerald, there was what's the other guy's name?
I done
From New Orleans.
that is Emerald.
No, it's another guy. The chef, the big fella.
Oh,
Oh, I can't think of his name. And he was from New Orleans, and I started watching Emerald and them because of you and Jen.
not me.
Yeah, it was you too.
Yeah, it was Jen.
Jen said, "This guy's is it Poupon? What is his name? I can't think of it." And Jen started a whole bunch of us watching them doggone cooking shows.
That's right. They had all the kids
Oh.
looking at him.
And all the rest of us. And that's why I started doing that. But this COVID, and this is COVID is not finished with us yet, Mary.
No,
It's not
no.
finished. We had 100 and some odd people passed away. The notices came out yesterday. After about a week, 27,000 in a week's time. And I think I'm wrong. I think it was more than that. So we're not finished with this COVID nightmare as of yet. And it's really something. So, all right, we have a number of people that we have asked to call in today to bring us up to date on different activities and events that are going on in Highland Park. And so we'll take this first call. Caller, good morning. You are on the air. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air. Turn off your speaker. Turn off your speakerphone, and good morning.
Grand Rising, ladies.
Ain't-
Grand Rising.
And
to you.
Grand
Maureen,
Rising.
That color suits you well on television.
And thank you so very much.
And you're not right talking about food. You're making me hungry.
Well, we
You-
talking
you're
about
right.
that terrorist Emerald Lagasse that's got us muffins and all that COVID weight all over us now. Okay, Ms. Grand Rising, give us an update on things that may be unfolding in
There are
Highland
some,
Park.
Wonderful activities here in Highland Park. Here in Highland Park, we can't be counted out. If it ain't happening, it ain't happening in Highland Park. Friday, June the 3rd, 12 p.m. to 1:45, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib will be sponsoring a Highland Park City bus tour. This tour is bringing attention to the constant dangers of lead in our public water. We will meet Friday, June the 3rd, 12 noon to 1:45 at 29 McLean. Come, bring your friends, bring everybody. We're going to tour the city. Benton Harbor, and I love Benton Harbor, but they got their lead pipe installed. We're half the size. So this is what Rashida Tlaib is bringing attention to. Help Highland Park. We need help. Some of those powers that be are always blaming Highland Park for everything. Who shot John? And we're just people that are trying to make a way like everybody else. So we appreciate her and thank her, and we want everybody to come Friday, June the 3rd, from 12 noon to 1:45 for the Highland Park City bus tour. We're gonna tour this city, y'all.
Okay, so now that's next. No, you need a tissue. I think we're good. Thank you very much. So now folks are going to gather in front of 29 McLean,
Yes.
and does that mean folks that want to explain or say something about the conditions?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So
I believe
Highland
there'll be a
Parkers.
news broadcast as well too.
Okay.
You know, we just had our parade, Michigan Week parade, 68th year, I believe, 68th or 69th year here in Highland Park.
Yes.
And Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib attended the parade as well. She came to the educational float, the Highland Park District float, took photos and met people and everything. So we appreciate her for not forgetting about us, you know, keeping us in the forefront to move forward, to have a better quality of life.
Well, those are the people who, once they are running for different offices, we have to remember who came out to us and who put a light, who shined the light on the good and the bad.
That's right.
And so when that time comes that we need representatives that will speak and say and do the right thing, those are the ones we want to pay attention to. So that's proper, and it's correct that she should have come. And good news for next Friday, 12 o'clock noon. So Marion and I will make certain we bring this up again next Friday, and then when the broadcast is over, we'll whip right around the corner. So we'll be in good standing and good shape for the visit of Rashida Tlaib.
Don't you have something else to talk about too, Linda, about last night?
Yes, last night, McLean Block Club showed up again and showed out. We are reorganizing our block
That's
club
right.
after our president has moved on to another location. However, the street is still vibrant and active, and we had over 25 residents showed
that's
up
right.
and showed out. Want to have our block club, you know, looking the way it was back in the day and even better right now. And so we had a lot of a conversation, meet and greet. We even had some light refreshments, and we'll be meeting again in about 2.5 to 3 weeks. It was so good, man.
Yes.
Wasn't it uplifting to see
People
how
did-
folks care about their neighborhood, their block?
It was so good to see people we haven't seen in a long time, and we were supposed to leave after what it was supposed to be for 2 hours. People didn't want to leave, Maureen.
They didn't.
And then the thing is, we want to say thank you to our fire department for
Yes.
open their doors for us to have it over there. It was a
That's
great,
where the meeting was, at the fire
Oh,
department.
it was
At the
great.
fire station.
Okay, that's appropriate. That's the way things are
That's the
supposed to
community
be.
room they have.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And people were enthusiastic and was coming up with everything. We found out that we had more people out there, Maureen, and have been,
Right.
cutting the grass for
Right.
anybody, on the street and all that. It was really, I was happy when I left there because of
Just like one of the neighbors said, it takes a village, because
right.
now
Yes.
we're all coming together,
This is
and
good.
working in one hand,
Tell them who called who was the organizers.
Well, that was my neighbor, Kathy Joyner, and
Yeah.
myself, Linda Wheeler. I volunteered to be secretary for that night, but everybody was quiet because I know what they were thinking.
Okay, all right. All right, so sounds like it turned out good. And I heard you say 2.5 weeks, there'll be another one. And we'll be able to get the date so that we can announce the date and the time and the place. And Madam Grand Rising, I have a neighborhood question to ask you.
Yes.
Okay. Do the folks in Highland Park, do you all water your grass during the spring and summer? Water the
I
grass.
have not seen
We haven't
anybody
seen no
do that
water.
yet.
Okay, I was just wondering because we have some new neighbors that moved in over a little field in my block, and one of them stopped me. Only been there about 2-3 weeks. As I was driving down the street and waved, they said, "Hey, let me ask you a question." Go ahead. Are we allowed to water the grass over here? So I said, you're absolutely allowed, but let me tell you, there was a weatherman named Chuck Gatica on Channel 2. He retired now. And Chuck Gatica had the grass mower, the edger, the clipper, the hider, the lowerer. He had every kind of device for grass. And weather came on. He's the weatherman, and it rained. And every neighbor that never watered their grass, all of their grass came up faster and greener than his. This the weatherman. He said he took every one of those tools and threw them in the trash. He took every one of them tools and threw it in the dumpster. And so over on Littlefield, we might water the grass, or I might see somebody watering the grass maybe once over summer. I haven't watered my grass in years. And I waited, started to get a little brown, and things get a little hot. Lord, you see what's going on out here, and the next morning it rains and it's all green again. So, all right, I'm just wondering, folks in Highland Park, smart like everybody else, we're not spending no water on the grass and going into the dirt. Madam Grand Rising, what else is going on in Highland
Well,
Park?
of course, I want to always bring attention to the city of Highland Park with the free COVID-19 vaccinations. That's Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. Wednesdays, 2 to 8 p.m. First and second vaccines for ages 5 and up. First booster vaccines for ages 12 and up. FDA-approved second booster vaccines for ages 50 and up, or those with a compromised immune system. Free COVID testing Mondays, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's at the Ernest T. Ford Recreation Center, 10 Pinkett, Highland Park, Michigan. And for further information, you can call 313-580-3208. That's 313-580-3208 for your free COVID testing, your COVID vaccine, and your booster shot. In Highland Park, everybody, all surrounding communities are welcome.
Okay, and I had I didn't ask Marion this. I know that there was some concern about the Highland Park parade because it had started to rain, and I was glad to hear that it launched anyway. But
Yes.
You had vendors there at the parade.
Yes.
Was the neck bone champion? Did he have a vending station?
Sonny wasn't there.
What?
No.
What?
No, he was not there.
Oh,
He was
Lord.
not there.
Okay, all right. We'll
But you
have
know-
to do something about
No,
that.
we
He
have-
need to show up.
Yeah, he
Yes,
needs to
we
show
do.
up. But at the
Marion, you
same
can't be relaxing. You got to sit up here.
you know, we need to make sure next year that we have vendors out there. And but it was great because they had hot dogs, hamburgers, and all.
Looking for the neck bone champion.
Well, you wasn't even there. How you looking for the?
Well, I say I would have been looking for the neck bone champion. Maybe he needed somebody to make certain that he knew. That
No, he
should
knows
be there,
Linda.
You know.
Yes.
All right. Well, I was wondering if he showed up. Well, all right,
One
Madam.
more plug then for him. for
Go
the-
right ahead. I say, give us
Sure,
that
home of the
information.
neck bone grilled cheese sandwich. Baby. You can get beef, pork, or turkey. And the phone number, call or text your order 248-257-0474. That's 248-257-0474. The address is 16455 Woodward Avenue here in Greater Highland Park. And that is happening on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, he's not serving neck bones on the fourth Saturday of the month. That's the month where the church gives out free food.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
That's good to know.
All right. So now, you know, I didn't even know that I didn't know the turkey had a neck. You know, till Linda started talking about this. You know, thinking about, gee, them turkeys look like it'd be the chest, and then the neck, and then the head. So, I didn't realize there was a turkey neck bone. So, all right, well, Madam Grand Rising, anything else we need to know about the beautiful city of Highland Park? Anything else going on there we should know
We
about?
just want to encourage everybody to protect yourself, protect your health. When with all this water, lead in the water,
It's terrible.
before you do any use with cooking or drinking or brushing your teeth, you can run your a load of clothes to flush your pipes, or just run some cold water for a minute and a half
That's
to
right.
flush those pipes. Or you can even shower, but you wanna stay protected. It's
Yes.
all about taking care of yourself and your family.
That's right. That's
And
right.
See, I know a lot of you be thinking that's too much water and stuff, but we want you to live, because
That's right.
that water it smells bad, and we're the ones that are ending up being the people that get sick behind it. So take a step out forward, not for yourself and your family and your neighbors and everything.
Well, all right, Madam Grand Rising, once again, we are indebted to you for a full and a complete report. We will look forward to you joining us again. I don't know, you may not be able to next Friday because you may have to be organizing at this time. But if not,
Highland Park Human Rights Coalition will be out there.
all right. I like the way that sounds. Thank you very much, Madam Grand Rising. Happy Memorial Day to you, to
you
your
as
block,
well.
and to your family, and be safe.
To you as well. Thank you.
And thank you
Talk
so
to
much.
you later now.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye, man.
Bye now. 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Marion, we're, let's see, it's been 13 days ago, a crazy person went to a store in Buffalo on purpose in an effort to try to kill African Americans. And he killed 10 people, various ages. At that time, we were both having, conniptions about, why would a person think it was in any way, shape, or form to kill a bunch of strangers, but to shoot an 86-year-old woman in the face. And little did we know that just a few days later, another 18-year-old would break off into a school in Texas, Uvalde, Texas, little town, what does they say, outside of San Antonio. Small little place, and kill 19 second, third, and fourth graders. I guess most of them were third and fourth graders, and shot children in the face. And one of the young ones, daddy was on TV. They've all been on TV. It's just gut-wrenching, heartbreaking to watch it. And talking about his 10-year-old and how she was killed because she got the cell phone and was calling 911 to try to protect her friends. The courage, even in the face of death. And I can only imagine, and you, Marion, and I have talked about this, what must it have been like? And all the stories are coming out. The police seem to be not in a position to do anything to help. All these questions are coming up. But apparently dead children were found in 4 classrooms, Marion, not just the one, in 4 classrooms. So he went to different places to shoot people, right? And what must it have been like in the room where he barricaded himself, and these little ones were in there screaming, crying, running from wall to wall, trying to figure out what to do. Well, they was trying to get out that room. And he had barricaded himself and these children in that room. Yeah, and how awful, that pure hell that was going on in that room, all this time. And then we talked about it a little bit last night and this morning. Now it's coming out that the marshals had put up a perimeter around the school, and were forcibly restricting parents who, if this had been my third or fourth grader, you would have had to handcuff me too. So they handcuffed several people, would not allow them to, breach the perimeter lines. And the one mom, after she was handcuffed and the local police said, well, she's just all upset, let's don't handcuff her. They didn't threw her to the ground and everything. So they took the handcuffs off and told her, you better not, whatever. So she backed off and went wherever she went and come back around and went to the back of the school. And it's a fence back there. She jumped over the fence, broke a window out. This is the story so far. Went into school, found her two, got them out the same window, the same broken window, and was able to get her kids out of that building. So all of the scrutiny is going on now. Took 1 hour and 7 minutes for the tactical team to show up. Yes. A lot of people are putting race on this. Well, I'm not sure if this was about race or not, because it's something to be said about mass shootings. I don't think it's about race. I think it's about assault weapons. Why do we need an assault weapon that can shoot 20 high-powered bullets in a half a second? What do we need that for? All right? And these are guns that are meant and designed to shred bodies. So they are shredding grown folks' bodies that may be in war. Imagine what that would do to the body of a little one. What do we, as soon as this young man turned 18 years of age in Texas, the next day he went and bought an assault rifle. Now, Tim, you might know, how much does an AR-15 cost at the gun store, Tim?
Yeah.
All right, he says 300 or 400. What they're reporting on TV is because this was a high-powered a gun, it was $1,400. So he bought one the day after the birthday. 2 days later, he went to a different weapons store and bought 375 bullets. So I asked Navarre, how much do bullets cost? I don't know how much this stuff is anymore. I used to know. But Navarre said it might be $50, $60 for maybe 40 or 50 bullets in a box. He bought 375. Looks like that would have triggered something. Okay, I'm going to sell you these bullets. As soon as he left, he had to show his ID. I'm 18. So as soon as he left, looked like he would have, the shop owner picked up the phone and say, this is probably nothing, but a kid just came in here. And, say something about what's going on. All right, and then 3 or 4 days after that, 2 or 3 days after that, he went back and bought a second high-powered velocity weapon at a different gun store, paid another $1,400 to $1,500. The morning of the shooting, he sent a text message to an online friend in Germany and said, my grandfather is still here. And as soon as he leaves, I'm going to shoot that BIT grandmother, because she keeps messing with my telephone charges. So the grandmother arguing, why? What's going on with the charges? She on the phone calling T-Mobile or whoever to talk about and argue about these charges. And I think, Marion, I want you to comment on this. I'm thinking about writing an article for the PT, and the name of it would be Maybe Grandma Was the Hero. She knew something was going on. Mm-hmm. She knew something was going on. And words were exchanged. And then Granddad left, which meant Grandma had no security, because apparently this young man liked Granddad but was upset with the grandmother, and he shot her first. So that's my thinking. Maybe Grandma was the hero. And she tried to stop this kid because she knew some dirt was on the way. That's the one who's 66 years of age and in a hospital in Texas. She was critical. Now she down to serious. I hope she can survive. But we're not going to be able to get details about what triggered this unless we get a chance to talk to Grandma and she could tell us what happened here. What was it that started? There is another piece of information I heard that the young man was fired or laid off or something like that from his job. That might have been it. You recall a situation a number of years ago where a factory worker was released from work after being called the N-word and all kind of other stuff, and he come back with a gun. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So, removing a person from a job can trigger all kinds of a reaction, especially if you already upset, angry, and mad. And then the last thing I'll say is this. Apparently, he was living with Grandma and Grandpa. I don't know how long. Didn't hear that. But his mother was found. I don't think she was missing, but the mother was found, and a reporter was interviewing her. She was in the car, and she asked for forgiveness for herself. She said, "Please, would you forgive my son?" And then the next thing she said was very curious. She said, "I'm sure he had his reasons."
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I'm sure he had his reasons. And the reporter said, "Well, what reasons could he have to shoot little kids? You know, he was a high school dropout. He wasn't going to school here at this time." And she said something about, he might have wanted to try to get closer to the children. She said something like that. And see, the interview would have been cut off. Say, "Oh, okay, there's nothing else to ask. There's nothing else to say." Because the mother is not processing information, because she's talking about he might have had reasons, and then says, well, maybe he wanted to get closer to some kids by shooting them. Boy, there's a whole lot to unpack and a whole lot of information we are about to find out. But, Marion, I think it says something about how this country is broken. The guy in Buffalo, the event before that, the fella that drove across 3 states to shoot Latino women and children because Trump said there are too many Latinos, and the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that, well, I'm talking about the mass shootings. The one before that, and go back to Columbine, where them 2 kids say they were bullied. I guess they weren't jocks. Girls didn't like them. And so that was the first big, mass shooting of students where these kids brought in high-powered rifles. And I don't understand it. The folks up in Oxford, they looked at their situation. Our son is depressed. He don't have many friends. He don't go to many places. All of these issues that the parents in Oxford noticed. His dog died. Dog he'd had 5 or 6 years, heartbroken, writing letters in the diary, and they looking in the diary, and he's going, "I can't sleep at night. I don't have any friends. My parents don't know what to do to help me." And then all of this is going on. Problem. So what's the response, Marion? Well, why don't we go buy him a high-powered gun? What about counseling? What about going to Disney World? And let's go someplace and have some fun. But how do we get from I'm lonesome, I'm depressed, nobody likes me, my girlfriend broke up with me, my dog died. So the parents' decision is to go get a gun. That's more that I can figure. I can't connect the dots along the way for this kind of stuff. So
Maureen, you can connect the dots. Connecting the dots. These young people, good example, a very good example. Here in Detroit on last week, it was last week, I don't forget what day, we went to downtown Detroit. Tuesday.
Spirit of Detroit event.
Call them out. Agnes had called us out. And, when Maureen and I got there, it looked like it was no one out there. We went around the corner, and there was a lot of people beginning to show up. And basically, when we were so happy to see them.
Some folks we hadn't seen in
We
a
hadn't
while,
seen since all this mess out here around this COVID and all that type of stuff. But it was so good to see them. And we went across the street on on Woodward Avenue at the foot of Woodward and sit down on the benches. Not bothering nobody, just welcoming people and having a good time. We were there to find out where the people of Detroit money is that was taken by the city of Detroit, tax money. And all of a sudden, some young man, walked, and a young lady, and about two young men walked. Y'all gonna have to get up and move because these are our seats.
and they belong to the people.
People. No,
Who are
no,
we?
he didn't say it belonged to the people. He said it belonged to him. And I said, what did you? And then I looked at Maureen went one way, I went another way. All the rest of us kind of got spread it out to see what in
you
the
talking about?
hell? What are you? What is wrong with you? This property here is the city of Detroit. And the people in Detroit are the ones that pays for this activity. For people to be able to have a place to sit down. And then another one came up talking about my boss paid for this. Your boss? Who is your boss? And he walked away from. He said, that's why we don't talk to you older folks and stuff like that, because you don't listen to us. We said, no, I think it's you're not listening to us, and being and people would say, why would you talk to all these seniors like this? We out here enjoying ourselves and everything like that, and here you come talking about we had to move, and we didn't have the right to sit out there on the benches.
Well, he told Mr. Love, well, one of them told Mr. Love, you have to move. You all have to give those chairs up because they belong to the people. That's where I heard it, because that's what he said. And then folks started hollering, well, aren't we the people? What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And what it turns out is that a grassroots group had reserved space that day, and that's that little park there right at the foot of what Mary said, Woodward and Jefferson. And they had reserved some space for an event they were trying to manage, but it was 4 chairs. Those blue chairs is what they had rented. Mm-hmm. All the rest of those chairs and the benches and the tables belong to whoever can come there first. So, of course, what they do, Mary, they call the police. Go ahead. Tell the rest of the story.
On us. Mm-hmm. And we still was sitting there and watching the activity and what was going on. And they out there talking money. We saw it calling, saying now, and the police, I couldn't see what was going on because they were all in front of us. But we started hollering police brutality. And the police turned around, not angry or nothing like that, and said, please, ladies, don't do that. We said, well, you're not listening to us. These young people are wrong for what they have been doing. They've been disrespectful. They are talking about that we don't have the right to be here on these seats and all that type of stuff. What do you mean? You better go talk to them. And by the way, we're not moving.
And they did. The police went over and had a caucus with them young folks, and they brought one of the female supervisors over and said, asked the question, well, what is this? I told them, how long does this last? Well, we're going to be here from 10 until 11. Oh, okay. And then they asked the other folks, what time do you need to start setting up? 11 o'clock? He said, well, okay, fine. And we're leaving. And police left. Mm-hmm. And but it was a lesson that these young folks looked at all of us and decided that it was all right to be disrespectful. Now, Marion left out one part.
What?
She didn't look at or talking about, she couldn't see and couldn't hear necessarily what the police were talking about. That's because Marion and Agnes had sat down on each end of a bench. Somebody else sat down on each end of the bench. There were people that were sitting on those benches, and they weren't going to get up. At one point, the young man picked up the bench. Wasn't you sitting at the other end, the one he picked up? And Marion's sitting there, and he picked up one end. Marion didn't move. You know, we going to sit right here.
Agnes
And, you
didn't
know,
move neither.
Agnes didn't move. Gladys didn't move.
Gladys didn't.
You know, so first it was the chairs, and then it turned into just those 4 chairs. And then the little female supervisor came over, and she apologized. And
Was
said,
it that young lady?
not the thin one, the heavy set one.
I didn't see her.
Okay, she came. Well, that's because you was over there protecting that bench. You
That's
wasn't
right.
getting
I
up
was
off that
protecting
bench.
that bench.
So yeah, she came over and she called them all off and sent them back over to their little truck and everything. But I did notice as we were leaving, I never saw the grassroots organization that was supposed to be setting something up. So I wonder if they were supposed to set up at 11. The grassroots group was supposed to start at 12. I never did see anything. But the lesson was, go ahead, Mary, what was the lesson we learned? What did we understand that day?
That these young people didn't have no respect for their elders, or no respect for people, you know, just sitting quietly out there in the, you know,
Little park area.
park area, and it was so good to be out with everybody else. But let me tell you something.
That was a lesson.
It was a lesson because we got to educate these young people. We cannot let them get away with that type of nonsense and not know what is going on right in their very faces. Because those young people are where Dan Gilbert is getting stuff free from the people of Detroit and everywhere else. He's trying to be over here in Highland Park and get space for his stuff and not paying taxes and being talked about like downtown Detroit is doing to the people of Detroit. You know, people stop sitting down and thinking that everything is all right and when it's not all right. Find out what's going on and begin to start taking some action in not only in your neighborhood, but go to those city council meetings and let them know that this is a new day.
Well, I'm going to advise everyone that may be watching or listening. You should take your issues to the Highland Park Human Rights Coalition and talk with Linda and talk with Gracie and talk with Marion and Pat and Eugenia and whoever else is there. 'Cause don't bring them to me no more. All right, because it is clear. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Let me say this. Folks, my statement is this. We done had multiple murders, mass murders. This morning when you turn on the TV, this 20-year-old got shot on the east side. This
Yeah.
25-year-old got shot in southwest Detroit. All of these kind of things come up, and the people can tolerate more. You told me that a long time
Yeah,
ago,
they
and
can
I
tolerate
said,
more.
no, Marion, they going to get to a point and they going to say no more. They can tolerate more, Marion. The simple thing around this, these mass shootings that we've had, the 2 mass shootings, is the assault rifle. Now, you know, they want to try to make this about mental health. They're trying to make this around depression, trying to make this around this young man or that young man. He couldn't get a date at the prom. You know, no. We're talking about why is it that in this country a person is able to buy a military-style gun
And walk
can
down the street.
And walk down the street. And in Texas, no, in Tennessee, I heard that again. You can go to a gun store, show your ID. All you have to be is 18. Show your ID. You can buy a military-style weapon if you have the money and walk out the door 15 minutes after you've made the purchase.
That's right.
Did you threaten to kill your girlfriend? We don't know. Did you threaten to kill your teacher? We don't know. Have you been in and out of drug rehabs? We don't know. But you got this high-powered weapon. So what the call, and this is my position, you and I haven't talked about this, Welfare Rights needs to be issuing a call that says ban all assault military-style weapons in this country. Civilians can't buy that kind of stuff. And we need to stick to that. And what was it? The ban on assault rifles in New York. They had that until it expired, and then the folks in New York didn't want to extend it. Mass shootings in New York City almost went down to zero. You couldn't get the kind of gun you wanted to shoot a bunch of people. But you remember a few years ago, people went to a country western event. Where was that? In Colorado, and they was all out there. And here's the guy in the apartment building shooting at them. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. And people having to say, okay, he's shooting. He's showering the group with over here with bullets, and people falling down. They already laying down, and they falling over because they've been shot. And then somebody would listen. He's reloading. Run. That's the kind of stuff we got to learn. Children got to learn how to do mass shooting testing, practice drills in school. We have that in my school.
They have that all schools.
We have that in my school, but this is where we are. And I listened to Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio. There's nothing we can do about this. So no matter how hard we try, there will be people that will want to shoot lots and lots of people. And if they can't get a gun, they'll get a knife or something. You can't shoot lots and lots of people with a knife, dummy. You cannot shoot lots and lots of people with a knife.
If you notice on the news, I done got to the point with the news, I get so sick of it, especially with these Democrats, and I'm not leaving out
these Republicans.
Both of them, and saying, but
Are you relaxed?
Republicans are terrible. Terrible. I mean, they tried to make them talk to them on the news and say, "You mean to tell me you're gonna go down to that the thing on the NRA convention and what have you?" They say, "Yeah, we were invited." They said, "What about the people that have been shot
3 days ago?
3 days
right up the street."
Well, and that type of stuff. Those type of people.
Respect.
Those type of people should not be allowed to be on TV.
Well,
those type of people, they're the ones that's getting paid by the NRA and all of them
millions of dollars
to run for office, and you got the nut behind that, and that being Trump and all the rest of them, the capitalists and all of them, for their benefit,
the whole gun
for
lobby.
their benefit.
Yes.
Not for our benefit.
Making big time
and my
money.
father and them used to have a shotgun in our house. And we never did experience nothing like that. That gun we knew was for the benefit of him.
Safety.
Not only safety, but to go out, and they would go out, getting rabbits and all that stuff.
Was he a hunter?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And never heard nothing like that. But yet and still, hear these knuckleheads that then shot up people and everything.
Now they having a convention.
Yeah, a convention. We need to have a big meeting too on their butts.
Well, there are demonstrations that started yesterday in front of where the convention's going to be, and it was a couple of thousand there yesterday. Yeah. So by Saturday, when they have the actual convention, there'll be a ton of people there. But look at how gross that is, Mary. The kid shot right up the street, and they're having a convention to have some kind of a thank you, sir, to have some kind of a discussion about National Rifle Association rights. They're trying to take away your guns. You keep all that mess. Nobody cares about that stuff. But we're talking about one issue, assault rifles. What is the reason? That's just like what is the name of that thing? A Gatling gun that they show in cowboys. What would be a reason for a resident to go buy a Gatling gun? What's the purpose in that? If you're a hunter and you're using the AR-15 or something similar to that to go out and shoot Bambi, You've shredded Bambi. By the time you shoot Bambi 15 or 16 times with this assault rifle. So, Marion, this just speaks to, you and I will be in D.C. on the 18th of June. And the day before that, we've got a couple of meetings with some folks about housing and affordable housing and stuff. And the whole campaign, Poor People's Campaign, I think there's still seats left for free that people want to ride the bus to D.C. But that's the whole point, to march against poverty.
That's it.
To march against homelessness, to march against, utilities being shut off and water being shut
Evictions.
off. Evictions, all of this kind of stuff. And,
The right to health care.
and the right to health care, all of these kinds of things are caught up in the Poor People's Campaign demonstration Saturday, June the 18th. If you're interested, you should be calling Welfare Rights, 313-964-0618,
Get on the bus.
313-964-0618. And that's the information you want, what Marion just said. Get on the bus. And if you've never been to D.C. to a march, how many times have we been on to D.C. in a march?
Been marching
You
for-
can. You have to take off both shoes, count both hands, and I know that place. We always go and we stop at Breezeway.
Breezeway,
Yeah,
yeah.
stop at Breezeway for an hour, and then go head on to the rest of our
singing
journey.
and be
Dancing, well, not dancing, but singing, and
Eating
lifting
chicken.
our spirits up. Yeah. So if you haven't had that experience, you and your family members, or you and your partner, call Welfare Rights to see if you can still get a seat. It's free on the bus, and people don't know. Unions are behind this, and organized labor, all of this, and over the years, Welfare Rights has made contributions. We have chicken, we have salad, we have fruit, cookies, candies, all man. I mean, we have to keep one seat open for just all the stuff that we're going to eat on the way to whatever the event is. But Marion, I tell you, it's 2022, and we're here come Vincent Chin.
oh my God.
All right, the
yeah.
25th of June. By the time we ain't gonna get no rest. That's why I was trying to tell you, don't be volunteering yourself for nothing else. We got nothing else we can do in June. So we got some stuff happening that second week where we'll be on our way for some Baltimore training, and then here come D.C. and then here we come back. Vincent Chin Memorial is going to be at our church.
They're gonna have it at our church this
Gonna
time.
have it at Central Church, yeah.
That's
And that'll be on a Saturday. And Asian Americans throughout metropolitan Detroit have been invited. They called to make certain that they could come. So I was trying to tell Art Park last night, we need to get prepared for at least 125, 150 people. I was trying to be okay about it. It may end up being more. But, the church can handle at least, thank you, the church can handle at least 1,100 people. And so Vincent Chin was where was he from? He was Asian.
Right.
No, I mean his family members.
I
It wasn't China. Might have been Korea.
Korea, I don't know.
Might have been Korea. I can't remember. And it's been
Right
40
down the
years.
street from me.
Well, what it is that he and some of his friends were factory workers. And they were at a bar in Highland Park.
Yeah.
And here comes, why do I still remember his name, Marion? Ron Ebens. All right, here come Ron Ebens, also a factory worker, white guy. He in the same bar. And they looking at these Asian-looking folks. And argument ensued. Well, you think you all that, you the reason why I lost my job and I'm laid off and whatever else. You come
Which is
outside.
untrue.
Of course it was untrue. And they went outside, and Ronald Ebens went to the trunk of his car, got a baseball bat,
Yeah.
and hit a guy in the head and knocked him to the ground and hit him on the head with the baseball bat several more times, taken to the hospital, and he died. And so far, Marion, who served any time in jail for that at all? 0. You know, so he was a fiance. He was supposed to be getting married. You know,
sure was.
remember? So was supposed to be getting married within that week or so. Maybe that I look like that's why he was at the bar. Couple days later, it was a bachelor party his friends were throwing him, and that didn't happen. So we'll be at Central United Methodist Church on that Saturday, the 25th, and talking about Vincent Chin, but mostly talking about how is it in 2022 Asian Americans still being attacked. That was a long time ago. And we got some Asian people going to church in California, and they got shot up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, look at the hatred. Ooh, Lord have mercy.
And you know, every day you're scared to turn on your TV to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know when it's gonna hit your neighborhood.
You never know.
Never know.
Marion, you have 30 seconds to say goodbye.
Again, I'm gonna say it again. We need you to participate in your block clubs. If you don't have one, you can call Michigan Welfare Rights, and we can put you on with the right people in your particular neighborhood. As far as in Highland Park, we can find out where if there's one exists in your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So get into some organization and begin to clean this mess up that is taking place out here. I'd love to live until I'm 100 and something, Maureen. Look like the way things going, you don't know what's going to happen.
All right, you got the information. Call us at Welfare Rights if you missed any information that's going on here. Still space on the bus to get to Washington, D.C.
Get on the bus.
Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Marion and I will be back next Friday. That'll be the 3rd, the next day. Lots of things are going on. And we'll say to you all, goodbye, and we'll see you next Friday. Don't forget, June 3rd, Rashida Tlaib. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its 3rd year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. To see if you qualify, please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.